Good morning and welcome to Galactic Soul Healing. My name is Sonia. I have just realised that today is rather momentous. It is the 22nd day of the second month, being February of 2022. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number 2s in there, in that date. And just before I realised that, I was inquiring with Spirit as to the topic for today, and it is going to be around, I think, masculine and feminine energies, because I was directed initially to these decks here, which are the Gods and Titans, which is kind of masculine images. Of course, the Oracle of Isis is sort of female images predominantly. And then we have some male and female images in here, which is the Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. Yeah, it's going to be kind of around the blending, I think, of divine masculine and divine feminine, maybe looking at releasing some of the dysfunctional feminine, dysfunctional masculine. Blending the two, integrating the two more so. And I just realised there's kind of a bit of synchronicity with those number 2s, because, you know, there's the two aspects, isn't it, the masculine and feminine. But yeah, maybe it just means that those aspects, masculine and feminine, are going to be either, there's going to be lots of things happening. There'll be some clashing, there'll be some integration, there'll be some blending, there'll be maybe greater understanding and compassion around those things. There might even be perhaps even in relationships between men and women, or generally between relationships, or understanding of what it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman. Maybe there'll be more what can I say, more seeking of respect, honouring and understanding, rather than, you know, dominating or withdrawing, or, you know, maybe the communication is going to be, the communication between these two aspects and elements is going to be coming more to the fore, especially in the ways of being and things like that. So let's shuffle. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. But also the other thing that came sort of through was about the voice of the soul. And I think too, Spirit's trying to just mention to me now that the soul is neither purely masculine or purely feminine. It's a combination of the two, which I think is just awesome. And it's a very spiritual way of being. If you can tap into your soul, more so than tapping into the fact that you're a man or a woman and fully identifying with that. I'm not saying, you know, you have to give up the sex that you are, but it's just trying to really honour and bring in that other side of you that perhaps has been either you know, a bit repressed, or certainly, you know, held within the subconscious, which we did a reading on a couple of days ago. You know, all of your abilities, skills and talents are, you know, are informed by your divine masculine and divine feminine aspects. So, you know, and this applies to men and women. So, you know, it's really exciting times, I think, that we're moving into. I think, let's just do one more quick shuffle. And I have done readings previously on, you know, what the masculine is and what the feminine is, but you know, that will probably come out in the reading as well. We can just go over some of those things, but predominantly the masculine energy is that category that's projective, so the energy that goes out, whereas the feminine energy is a receptive kind of energy, which means it absorbs. so it takes in, whereas the masculine energy is projective. Okay, now we could also just do away with masculine and feminine labels of those things, couldn't we? And we could just talk about receptive energy and projective energy. It's just another way of describing them. Okay, let's cut the decks. And yeah, thank you, Spirit, for helping us with this. As always, we're kind of, I'm very grateful for any assistance that we can have from this. And once again, if something I say does not resonate, please don't take it on. If it does resonate, that's fine. Just explore and look into it. The other thing is, one of the collectives sort of coming through is the Andromedans. Reason being is that they kind of have the Andromedan galaxy, Andromedans kind of have a pretty good understanding of how the integration of divine masculine and divine feminine can happen, how they integrate and work together, which is something, I guess, that maybe us little humans here, to some extent, we're a bit ignorant of, because many of us haven't activated those aspects of ourselves as yet. Although we understand what masculine and feminine is, but the divine masculine and the divine feminine is something, it's a higher frequency, okay? And the Andromedans are more aware of how this can all kind of come together. So I think we'll be just getting some high frequency assistance with this today. So the first card here, Serpent of Fire. Now, I don't know if you remember, but I don't know, I think it was last week or the week before, this came up as well. Now, it says Priestess of the Serpent Sisterhood, which was about, I remember, transformation. Okay, which is about releasing things that no longer are working, and it's about stepping into new ways of being, probably more empowered ways of being, and perhaps in areas that we haven't stepped into before. Interesting, these two figures up here. I think they might be two sisters actually. They look like both like women. There's definitely also a thing about the crown and brow chakra here. And I'm just going to really quickly, I don't think I will look at the book, but we're just going to look at the others individually first, and then we'll come back to them and look at them in combination, because I feel like that's where we're going to get more depth. Right, a mountain. Wow, what is it? Stand your ground. Fantastic. And see the it's interesting, we have two aspects here as well. There's going to be some synchronicities in these cards. Stand your ground. So that's about being strong. Okay. Now, I just had the transformation is actually going to be the integration of divine masculine and divine feminine. And standing your ground is also about staying grounded. This guy Perfection came out as well before, a few weeks back. It may have even been in the same reading as Serpent of Fire. And this is synchronous. I can't believe it. I believe that this has to do with and your interpretation may be different, of course, but the transformations that we are undergoing, okay, is because we are undergoing a process of perfection in a way, although it's not like we're going to be perfect in like a matter of months or years, okay, but it's saying that it's an improvement, okay. So when we're integrating divine masculine, divine feminine, we're not going backwards, folks, okay. If you're a guy and you're starting to feel like you want to do feminine type things, or if you're a woman and you feel like you want to do more masculine type things, and when I say that, I mean if you're a woman and you feel like you want to get out there and be projective with your energy, or if you're a man and you feel like you want to just do some quiet receptive things, okay. The message for both of those scenarios is you're not going backwards. There's nothing wrong with you. You're actually going through a process of transformation, and you're going through a perfection. Spiritually, you're going through a process of improvement or development, which is what this perfection is about. It's about, as you know, perfecting is generally improving. You're doing something over and over, or you're fine-tuning it as you go along to get to a better state after that at the end. And stand your ground is about being really solid and being grounded throughout this transformation process, okay. So it's not only that the divine feminine is coming forward, but the divine masculine is coming forward as well, okay. And yeah, these images may not look particularly peaceful or divine, but they are more images of strength, okay. So this is about appealing to our sense of courage and determination and our inner strength, okay, that we can move forward. We've got this, we can do it, okay. And even though we've got those, those high frequency energies, all of, the photon waves, all of the atmospheric stuff going on, that can leave us feeling at times, a little, maybe slightly dizzy. We have ringing in the ears. We may be a little bit not as sure-footed as we were in terms of, we might, trip over things a little bit. We may be feeling a bit off here and there. Appetite goes up and down a bit. But, physiologically we're going through changes, emotionally, spiritually, and of course, intellectually, also in terms of what our minds are now becoming more and more open to is different and more expansive than it was before. So we are going through a lot, okay. It's saying stand your ground, and I'm going to suggest too that it's about being really centered and grounded and connected to the earth. And yeah, this is also about balance, and this is also about, if you're going through a transformation, it's also about self-care, okay, holding yourself through that transformation process. Now, it's not that we are going to evolve to the point where we have a snake. This is symbolic, okay. The serpent is symbolic of various things. One of them being transformation, another one can be healing, okay. Also that Kundalini energy, which is basically activating of the spine, activating of the nervous system, helping to align us physically and spiritually with the forces below and the forces above. Okay, standing our ground, keep being connected to the earth. We're not going to lose the earth. Okay, it's going to be the mountains, everything's going to be there for us. But the thing that's coming to my mind now is that in yoga there's a thing called the mountain pose. Okay, and you can do it seated or standing or whatever, but I've done this on the beach and it's really awesome, because you can literally stand with your hands straight up and your feet really connected, and just really do some nice deep breathing, and just basically in your mind just state, I'm connected to the earth, I'm connected to the great central sun, and the meeting of those energies happens in my heart. Okay, and I now feel relaxed, calm and centered, because I'm here in mind, body and spirit, and I am cool, calm, collected, centered and relaxed, and open to the merging and integration of my divine masculine and divine feminine aspects. Okay, and just kind of sit with that and just be just allow those energies to flow through you for a few minutes. Do a couple of deep breaths and just continue on with your day. So like I said, if anything else comes up for you, any other meanings from these images, I'm going to try and fill up the screen. What you could do actually is take a screenshot. There might be an image that you're really drawn to, one of these. Take a screenshot and then basically get out a pen and paper and just start writing down, just do some free writing. So I'm just going to hold these up individually so you can take a screenshot. Because, sorry, that light is not great there, is it? Because there's a lot in this image. It looks like a bit like a Viking, a warrior. There is actually, I think, there is a myth attached to Nuada. I think he's, I think it is a Norse. I think he's Norse. But this arm here, I think something happened to it. He lost a limb and he had to continue on his life sort of with a disability, so to speak, a physical disability. Very determined person. So that could be something else you get from, and some of these images might resonate more with you than others. If you're a real nature person, there's not a lot of elements to that image, but you also have the circle here, which is symbolic of the soul. This also looks like silver and gold here. Okay, and they are precious metals, obviously, so that's something else you might want to write about, is, you could even do a little thing as, I am precious because, and then just fill in the dots. Just write a whole page on why you are precious. And I don't mean the ring out of Lord of the Rings. If the word precious brings up images of Smeagol or Gollum, maybe use a different word like special. It looks like a giant nugget. And that may make you think of, Hungry Jack's or McDonald's if I'm talking about nuggets. So you might want to use a different word again. But, and you've got stars here as well. And, of course, the American Indians, definite feel here. But I really like how, I don't know about you, but, that's kind of awesome. You've got the gold and the silver. This literally looks like silver around the edge here, and this looks pretty goldy, doesn't it? So we kind of have, and you might like to even think about the merging of your divine masculine and divine feminine. It's a bit like an alchemical process of perhaps, the mixing of the precious metals to make something awesome. So this is, this could well be, masculine and feminine here, together as one in a really, special combo there. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great 22nd of the 2nd of the 2022, and I will catch you tomorrow.